to the city, baby. When you see us, so you know you really viewing greatness in the making. Double up on facts we stating. Podcasting, cruise control, city, state, the nation. So what you saying, what we saying, prime information. Facts, keys to the city, we unlocking the statements.
Streaming every Friday.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Clovercrest Media presents Keys to the City. And look at Ted's. Ted's living in paradise right now. That's why we haven't been around. Ted's been on vacation, but he's living the life, Ted. Where are you right now? Just let the people know where you're at.
I'm in Treasure Island, baby.
You're in paradise right now. This is what the sun does. Look at
living my best life.
Soon it goes back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
You know what? It's crazy because I'm down here and I'm tanner than you.
Yeah, well, you're not working either. You're not working. You're having a good time, but reality hits in. Speaking of something that maybe you would think coming into this offseason, and this is a time that we always talk about March Madness, right? And it's been living up to expectations. But you look at what the real madness that's been going on. Let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. The real madness that's been going on in the sports world right now is not actually March Madness, Ted. It is the NFL's version of March Madness. And we just talked about reality and Ted going back to reality, but you think about this offseason. I don't think you could put into perspective how unrealistic we all thought this offseason was going to be. But now it's become a reality of what this NFL season is. We talked about it last year. We talked about the AFC, Ted. And I think that's where we got to start with this whole free agency period, realistically, because that's where all the moves have been going. I mean, Aaron Rodgers stays in Green Bay. Brady unretires and is going back to Tampa. The Rams got their pieces. Allen Robinson, a surprising move. Robert Woods getting traded. Those are some of the other moves. But we talked about it all last year. The AFC, how great it was. We didn't know on the uncertainty. Now you look at what just happened within the past couple weeks and even the past week or so where everything, the true madness really did begin and has been going on in continuance in this NFL free agent period. The top tier quarterbacks are going, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody has their teams. We are down to teams that are looking for quarterbacks. Your best options, realistically, are Jimmy G and Baker Mayfield, or possibly one of the draftees in this quarterback class. But Ted, if you can pick one, what is the most surprising move to you in free agency / trades? Because we've seen a lot more trades that have been the more surprising factor going into this offseason. Free agency has been living up to it, but it's been more of the trades. But if you want, give me a move.
I mean, I don't know if it's a specific move, but you really hit on me. I don't think we've been doing the show. You
can't do this in Madden, Ted. You can't do it in Madden.
No, the computer would block the trades. We'd have to turn off the trade modular and whatever, and we'd have to force them. And we just trade 7th round for Aaron Rodgers. But it's crazy because free agency in NFL was never really a big thing, and in the last couple of years, it's really grown. It's not just free agency. We're talking about trades. It's the trades that have gone on. I mean, we saw Russell Wilson trade. We saw the Deshaun Watson trade. We saw Devontae Adams trade. Yeah, we saw free agents, and I retweeted the NFL rumor saying if you see the free agents that are still available, there's still a lot of time. We're talking Tyrann Mathieu, we're talking Terry Armstead, we're talking Bobby Wagner.
Tier is just as good, could be just as impactful as tier one.
There's some stallions out there, and if you're a team that's close to where you think one guy would make a difference, like if I'm Denver, do I try to hurry up and get Bobby Wagner? I mean, here's the thing: the AFC is stacked. We know that. I don't think I've ever seen a conference. I mean, might as well a division like the AFC West, but a conference. I mean, we joked about this when you came up in January. I was like, Derek Carr is probably not like the 7th best quarterback in the division. Now you're looking at like, where does he rank now? And then you look at the teams and who's really the best team in the AFC West. But I think the biggest move, other than the Russell Wilson trade, and that's been about a week or two now, is got to be the Devontae Adams trade, right? I understood that he did not want to play under the franchise tag. I get it. The guy deserved to get paid. I mean, he just watched Christian Kirk make $20 million a year, and that guy's not even in the top 30 receivers. So, and he couldn't hold.
Christian Kirk is living in paradise in Treasure Island now.
Yeah, I mean, Texas A&M grad, never really panned out for the Arizona Cardinals. But Devontae Adams going to the Raiders. Now, it's funny because sometimes when we're drinking or you and me, we have these late night talks and we don't do the show. I'm like, what are like the Raiders need to do? And I was like, they need to get a number one receiver. I'm like, Devontae is open for the grabs. Like they should go get him. Like his former college teammate at Fresno State. Those two guys within 2 years had like 39 touchdowns combined together. They have chemistry together. You had mentioned to me about 3 weeks ago that Devontae had bought a house in Vegas. I'm like, yeah, so what? Guys buy houses everywhere. They're rich. Who cares? They do what the hell they want. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was building a house in Nashville. Didn't mean he was going to the Titans. But Aaron Rodgers gets paid. He loses the best receiver in football. Green Bay loses the best receiver in football. I know he's going to be 30. But what that does is it just makes the Raiders now, who you thought were missing something, they needed something explosive.
We all know what they were missing, Ted. It was a home run threat. And they got the best. They got the best of the best. And I think you're 100% right, T, in the sense of this surprise, because we all anticipated that what Rodgers resigning, coming back, not a big surprise there. And we all thought Devontae, okay, here we go. We're going to just run it back and we're going to just add pieces, hopefully, finally, and help out Aaron Rodgers to try to win a championship. But to see that happen is just like, you just traded, like, you didn't trade, like the trades have been going on. Some of the names, like Robert Woods is an impactful player. We get that.
Yep.
But you traded one of the best offensive players, non-quarterbacks in this entire league, who's been dominating the league, who's been the true number one. Let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. I know Cooper Kupp had the greatest statistical season last season, but we all know Davante Adams is the number one receiver in the NFL. He's the best receiver in the NFL, and to see him take the money, or not to go back with Derek Carr, Ted, and to choose Derek Carr over Aaron Rodgers is saying something.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty remarkable. I was trying to look up the stats. It was pretty much every statistical stats. I was just on Twitter while you were bullshitting. But every statistical stat that you could name for a receiver, yards, touchdowns, yards per catch. Devontae was number one since 2018. He's literally been the best receiver the past 3 or 4 seasons. But I'll tell you this. Oh, J.J. Watt. Why are they showing him? Okay, sorry, I'm watching something. They were saying happy birthday, J.J. Watt, but they're showing highlights of T.J. Watt on ESPN. Didn't understand it. But get back to the point. That's the most surprising move. But the biggest thing that was a shocker to me, though, was the Deshaun Watson trade and the money. It wasn't that he went to Cleveland, even though it was speculated that he was not going to go to Cleveland. It was going to be either Carolina or it was going to be Atlanta. But for him to go to Cleveland, right, and then to give him the $230 million guarantee, like it's all guaranteed. Like now he still has civil suits, right? But we were talking down here and we're just BSing, guys who talk sports, and I'm like, if he doesn't, like Charles was saying, as we use our friend reference, like if he doesn't get anything from the civil suits, the NFL can't really suspend him, because if Wall is not going to suspend him in the sense of civil and courts.
Well, we've seen in the past.
Then here's the thing: how can the NFL suspend a guy if he hasn't gotten in trouble by law? Now, I said we've seen it before in the past. What would be the number of games? Somebody says, well, if he didn't get in trouble by law, you can't suspend him. He didn't do anything wrong. That's what the law is provided.
Well, here's the only thing I would say. I get it, but
I would say 4 games. Some people have talked to.
We've seen guys in the past, Ezekiel Elliott, who've had charges against them get dropped, but the NFL still has to deliver some sort of punishment, because you can't just realistically, in the world we live in today, you got to put in the perspective that too. Well, in the world we live in today with all that.
What world do we live in today, Trev?
We live in a world where that has to be taken serious. You got to take it serious. It's a big deal. And
you mean it's a PC thing? But at the end of the day, if Deshaun Watson wins 11 games and leads Cleveland,
but I also said that too, because I was listening to Mina Kimes. I was like, Mina, I was thinking of it. I was just like, yeah, it's a terrible thing what happened. But these guys, like the Cleveland Browns specifically, you think about this move, and we all heard it was going to be Carolina. We thought the NFC North. Let's just say the NFC North minus Tampa Bay.
NFC South. NFC South.
Oh, NFC South.
Carolina and the Saints.
NFC South taking out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Then we heard Cleveland was the team as well, but then they dropped out. All of a sudden, they swoop under and say, "What are we doing? We can't be screwing around. We have to go after this guy. I know he's got issues off the field, but this is a chance for us to go. We're right there. We got to take that next step." And we've seen in the past 2 years, Ted, the all-in approach, going with Brady, then with the Rams, going with Stafford. This year's version, I guess, is Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson. But my also thing is, when you need to win championships, if he's winning championships, they don't, to be honest, they don't
It'll
care
all be
what's going
forgotten.
on off the field. They don't take it serious.
Listen, it'll all be forgotten.
Hold on. If he gives them the best opportunity to win a championship, then the Cleveland Browns or any of those 4 teams that were associated with Deshaun Watson are going to go in specifically. Let's go Cleveland because they were the more team that, and the Saints, I would say. But Cleveland, they said, we're this close. He's got off-field issues. But if we're winning games and we're that close, we got to go with it. And that's what happened. I know it's a crappy situation. Let's be honest. It's a shitty situation, this whole thing, because this is one of the better quarterbacks coming off of this missed season. His statistics, go look at him. He was a top 5 quarterback with a garbage.
But here's the thing. What has he won, though? What has he won?
Exactly.
That was something I said. If you look at his record, and if Joe was here, he would say, well, we'll get to Deshaun Watson's last season that he started. They were 4-12. But, Joe, his numbers were astronomical. The team was garbage. Like, here's the thing. The quarterback – here's the thing. Your team could be really good with a bad quarterback. That's the word I'll use. A poor quarterback, an average quarterback, right? Daniel Jones, a Tyrod Taylor. Okay. Listen, you can be really good. But here's the thing. Maybe it's a better example. The Rams were a really good team with Jared Goff. A really good team. They were a perennial playoff team if they wanted to be playoffs, wild card. The difference was he wasn't Matthew Stafford. Now here's the thing. Baker Mayfield was beat up this year. Everyone's got to get off the Baker Mayfield train and stop beating the guy up. The guy had a bad season. All right, yeah, he hasn't handled everything like a total professional. But you know what? You're not in the same shoes, so get off the damn guy's back, all right? When he was healthy, he won 11 games. He went into Pittsburgh. He crushed Pittsburgh. He led them. And if you actually watch the divisional game, he actually played really well against Mahomes. The difference is, though, he was not able to make that big play as we've seen, like Stafford did against Brady. We see Mahomes do times. We saw Josh Allen do. We've seen these top-notch quarterbacks. That's the difference. And listen, Baker Mayfield's the number 1 pick. So, and we'll talk about it maybe later in the week when I get home and other things. But I said this to you, and I was screaming this at Joe. I was screaming this at Joe. I was like, Joe, he's not a number 1 player. He's not a number 1 quarterback. Watson wasn't it. Huh?
Is Watson that guy? Do you consider Watson that guy? You just said Josh Allen's, the likes of Josh Allen.
Listen, where does Deshaun Watson? We'll do an AFC ranking of the quarterbacks.
Yes.
But if I'm Deshaun Watson, now you sent me the AFC last night, right? I think Deshaun's got to be.
If you go to NFL Network, they came out with, and some of them don't have Deshaun Watson in it. They have Justin Herbert. They have Lamar Jackson. They have who else? They have Mahomes, Josh Allen, and I didn't see Russell Wilson.
Okay, here's the thing. You got the 4 AFC West quarterbacks. You got the 4 AFC West quarterbacks, right? Then the NFC North, you have Joe Burrow, you have Lamar Jackson, and you have Deshaun, and then you have Josh Allen, right? That's 8 quarterbacks right there. We didn't include anyone in the NFC South because no one is good enough to talk about, all right? And then the AFC East, I mean, sorry, Mac Jones, Deshaun Watson, Tua. I mean, not Deshaun Watson, but you're talking 8 extreme quarterbacks. The NFC West, the 3 in the NFC North, and then Josh Allen. Here's what I say to you, though, this. Deshaun Watson has extreme pressure. He's got probably more pressure than any quarterback that's been traded or will be drafted because of the $230 million guaranteed, because he's playing at Cleveland. Look at it like LeBron James, all right? You took the money, bro. You better deliver. And there's nothing less exceptional until you win a Super Bowl. If you don't win a Super Bowl, the contract is not worthy of it. It has to bring at least 1 Super Bowl.
I would say 1 Super Bowl too. Yeah, you're lucky right now. I wish I would. What's up, boss man? Trust me. I wish. Yeah, Patrick, you may be right.
He wants to talk college basketball.
All kidding aside, I wish I was enjoying with you guys, but I hope you're enjoying because you have to go back to reality, Ted. You do have to go back to reality because that's life. But sooner or later, maybe you will change your mind. But yes, this contract, this decision for the Browns to trade what they did and to kind of come out of nowhere and to make the splash that we were all expecting it to be an NFC South team. Instead, it's an AFC North team. And this just adds to, you look at and we're going to talk about these 2 divisions because, ladies and gentlemen, these are the 2 best divisions. bar none. By far, it's not even a debate. Good luck trying to pick the 8 quarterbacks, with the exception of Mitchell Trubisky.
Do you remember? We thought about this in the NFC West last year with Stafford and the Rams. We still thought
the only weakness on that part was the weakness of that group was Jimmy G. You look at the team. Derek Carr is probably a top 10 quarterback, and he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. So you look at these decisions, you look at these moves. My most surprising move had to be the not Deshaun Watson. I definitely think it was Devontae Adams. I really believe that he was going.
I'll tell you one other thing. If I can cut you off, and I'll make it quick. It's not about where the guys have gone, but it's the money. Like Von Miller's contract going to the Bills.
I think that was a bit surprising.
That's for a guy that's 33 years old. I understand he had a great end of the season for the Rams, but we've seen that before. A guy gets juiced up from a bad team to a new team late in the season. You're trying to get a ring. You're chasing the ring.
Look at what Russell
did. Do that for 17 games.
It was a 10-player/draft trade for Russell Wilson. I mean, it's just this offseason. Oh, we lost him?
No, I didn't. Sorry, I was trying to switch the camera. I was looking at Baker Mayfield stats. And I was trying to, kind of like live stream it.
I mean, that's one of the bigger questions. Now we're talking about
17 touchdowns, 13 picks in 14 games, 60% completion percentage. Now, here's the thing: we've joked about this when we talk.
Also, going to remember he's playing with a bad.
If you're the Giants, would you even think about it?
No, but here's my thing. I know people want to bash Baker, but you got to say he played with a bad shoulder, and we've had shoulder injuries. With a bad
shoulder. He had a bad foot. He had a bunch of injuries.
Specifically, me and you, if I could talk about history, we've had shoulder injuries. We know what it's like.
Yeah, but not his injury.
That's what I'm saying. Well, you had a pretty serious injury in high school. I mean, we still played like Baker. That's the thing. We still played like Baker.
We don't stop playing.
We don't care. We're gonna play through pain. We love pain. But that's the thing. You got to give this guy some credit. I mean, he played through injury, and I know he didn't have the greatest season, but 2 of his 4 seasons were pretty damn remarkable. If it wasn't for Justin Herbert going off on the rookie record, Baker Mayfield would be owning that title. So we're going to be talking more about that because ladies and gentlemen, that's what it's come down to. If you're looking for a quarterback, teams that are in desperate need of a quarterback, there's a few of them still out there. Your best options now, because majority of this league has their quarterback set. Now it comes down to either you're going Jimmy G, Baker Mayfield, or you look at one of these 4 guys in the draft, or maybe in the draft in general. That's what it's going to come down to. We all talked about how many quarterbacks were going to be moved. We didn't think that where the moves were going to happen and what they went for. Yes, I've seen that.
Worsley, Aaron Judge, etc. All those guys.
Yeah, all these guys. Aaron Judge. And that's another thing, Ted. Ted, I need to see you for a second.
Yeah, I got your face.
Here's one more thing. We didn't even talk about what's going on in baseball. We haven't talked about the Yankees. We haven't talked about the surprising moves in baseball.
Because 13 home games in April.
Realistically, it's been madness across sports.
Well, here's the thing. These people in the upper north got to get off this rail and this high horse, because enough of this nonsense. I'm glad we could just talk about it. Yeah, New York City. See, this is what's wrong with this country, right? This is what's wrong with this world. Okay, we got a guy who can get a massage and get a little tickle for 22 different women and have a civil case, and all of a sudden it disappears, right? So it disappears, and then he's going to win a Super Bowl and we'll all cheer for him. Then we got people who can come from different states.
He just got paid $230 million.
Yeah, fully guaranteed. Maybe I need to get involved.
Emphasize that $230 million.
Second of all, you get a guy, right? You get guys that come from all over states. So say you play for the Utah Jazz. You come to Brooklyn. You can play against Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets. But Kyrie can't play. It doesn't make sense. He's not vaccinated. The other guy, Kyrie's not vaccinated. What's the difference? So the guy, because he lives in the state and plays for the team, he can't play? How does that make sense? I don't care what politic or what vaccination thing you're all about. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, stop. Enough with the nonsense. The 2-year shenanigans is over. Everyone got their laughs and kicks in. We got our shots. You made millions of dollars. Okay, it's enough. Kyrie Irving should be playing basketball every night for the Brooklyn Nets, and so should every NBA other player. If a guy from another state can come in, then guess what?
And this is not just the NBA. This is all sports.
And then listen, you're talking about baseball teams. No, you're good. Don't worry about it. We like interference in the background. I mean, when the Red Sox all start opening day against the Yankees, right? Guy from the Red Sox could be non-vaccinated. He can play against the Yankees, All right, and Trevor Story, Bogarts, they could be non-vaccinated, be playing, hitting third in the lineup,
Xander,
and we're gonna have
believe it or
Aaron,
not,
and we're gonna have
believe it-
Aaron Judge in the batting cages
Believe it or
practicing and
not,
then putting his shorts on.
Xander Bogaerts is unvaccinated. I've seen. So yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
but it doesn't affect him because
I
he
know
doesn't.
that's what I'm saying. I was just saying to your point that Xander Bogaerts is unvaccinated. So yeah, it just
Aaron Judge is elbow free.
No, Bogarts got vaccinated.
He did.
okay. I thought I saw some.
Well,
Okay.
He wasn't. Then he got
Well, we'll be talking about baseball too because the Yankees are on the verge of signing a long-term deal with Aaron Judge. Yes, they're on a long-term deal. I want to see Ted. I don't want to see Jeff Passan. You know what? I'm interrupting. I'm sorry I interrupted you today. Okay, I know you got to go back to reality.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not. I haven't watched sports when I'm living my best life. I haven't seen anything. I haven't watched any Colin. All I've watched is the tournament, and that's it.
This is a lie. This is a lie.
A lot of college hoops down here. Watch a lot of games.
This is a lie because I know he's been watching. He's
Trust me,
lying to the people.
Ooh, that's agreed to a 1-year deal. Just in 1 year, $7.4 million contract of arbitration for Pete Alonso.
We're signing off.
Listen, here's my thing though. There is still a lot of defensive talent out there for teams that need pieces. I think if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I go look at a guy like Tyrann Mathieu or Bobby Wagner to shore up that defense. That's where your biggest holes are at. You can still play great football. They have the pieces offensively. The Giants, it's all about let everyone be ready for next year. Be ready for next year. Find out.
We'll talk all about that. We'll be later in the week when Ted gets back to Connecticut, so we'll be able to do more. We'll talk about baseball.
Hey, how's your tournament doing? That's what I want. I want to know how your brackets are doing.
I think one of them. I don't know, man. It's been. I mean, who would have thought? Who would have thought you had? Who would have thought you had St. Peter's in the Sweet 16? I mean, you're gonna have a 10. You're gonna have a 10 versus an 11. Somebody's going to the Elite Eight. Believe it or not, it's this is what March Madness is, but just all across sports right now.
March Madness is?
What?
No March Madness is?
Oh, yeah, God, stop.
No, listen. I thought the games were really good this weekend. If we could just touch on that, I thought the games were really good. You know, you get the upsets. I thought we had good quality basketball. I thought the worst game I saw though, as an officiating sense, was the Baylor UNC game. I mean, that was just. It was atrocious. It was 53 fouls,
53 free throws, 59 field goals.
I think.
Stop it. I could have a burst on I'll go off and just on all refs right now. All of these refs.
You're looking like a fat ham.
Here's the thing. Refereeing, please get new refs across sports. They're dictating too many games. They're ruining games and they're impacting games.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing. The Gonzaga game was one of the best games I saw. I mean, not sure. Arizona and TCU was one of the best games I saw.
That's another game that TCU probably got screwed at the end.
Yeah. And today's on the beach today. You should have seen me and Pat's beer pong game with the buckets. Yeah, three overtimes, and
did somebody win?
No, I called it quits after I hit the buzzer.
Wait, hold on. I gotta put this on the solo. Hold on, I want you to say that one more time, Ted.
All right, so Pat won the first game.
I want to hear the one statement you just said.
What? That we went to triple overtime?
You quit, Ted.
No, I didn't. I know. Listen, Pat made the shot.
You're a quitter.
Then I had 2 shots to tie the game to go to 4 overtimes. I hit it on my last shot, and Pat goes, "No more. We're gonna call it a tie. We need to go there." It was too hot, bro. We had to get in the water. I was sweating. I was like a hot meat ham hanging from the steak.
Oh, you look like a Bubba burger.
Like those gyros where they're slicing the meat right off the carving station.
You quit.
I never quit. We didn't quit.
You did. Don't ever say you didn't quit. You quit.
How do you figure?
That game.
I got things to do, bro. I had to eat lunch.
Some say this place is haunted.
I had some nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are signing off. Ted, enjoy it. I hope you have a great night. I can't understand. He's blurred. I can't understand what he's saying.
He goes, every kid on this live stream, you may be right, might be haunted.
Oh, God. Well, you boys enjoy. Ted, I will talk to you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
We'll see what happens in the NFL. We'll be talking baseball. We're talking.
If you want to do some more tomorrow, we could talk some more tomorrow.
I'll call. Yes, I will let you know. But at the end of the week, we want to talk about the AFC. We want to talk about the quarterbacks. We want to give us our rankings. We'll talk baseball too because opening day is just a few
we
weeks.
got to do a preview.
Opening day is just a few weeks away, so we got to do an MLB preview. Yankees, Red Sox. Boy, that Red Sox lineup is going to be scary.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see what happens. It's a scary, scary lineup. We'll see what happens with the pitching with the Red Sox. But the Yankees, right now, that AL East is going to be some fun to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, we are Keys to the City. We're streaming on all social media platforms at Keys to the City. So comment, like, subscribe, or share. Clovercrest Media presents Keys to the City. We are out.
Yeah. Keys to the city, baby. When you see us, so you know you really viewing greatness in the making. Double up on facts we stating. Podcasting, cruise control, city, state, the nation. So what you saying, what we saying, prime information. Facts, keys to the city, we're unlocking the statements.
Streaming every Friday.